Hello, this is Austin Willoughby, and this is my submission for my level design final iteration. So I'm back here in my Minecraft level. A few things that I've added here. Players will be able to get a little bit of starter armor here for the level, as well as this book, which contains a pretty detailed storyline of kind of what has happened with this expedition. And eventually you find out. Obviously, you can pause there if you'd like to read them yourselves. But basically, the members of this thing start going crazy and go running off into this ravine. So the first place the players can come down is down this ladder, and they can either go down that ladder or they can come over here and look at the statue that is mentioned in the book to kind of get an idea of what was being talked about. So after that, they will come down this ladder, which is impossible to get back up. And just from experimenting, I've noticed a lot of players come this way first, and originally this was nothing, but I wanted to add a little bit of story to it. So at one point the book mentions that somebody jumped down off the ledge after running away from the statue. So we have some blood here that leads kind of down into this little cave area. It's got a dead skull here, and there's a story about how he died, kind of his last words there. And all this kind of ties into the story of the leader of this expedition kind of becoming a demon. At least that's what you find out towards the end. So I also added this waterfall to kind of bring some movement into this area and bring players down into this half of this ravine. And I added a lot of stuff here, so I was told that it was a little too linear, so I wanted to break it up. So I added this side place that this water goes down, so hopefully the water will lead players down here, and they will notice this blood and come down here. Oh, this actually is not supposed to be here. And they will find this guy's body and his story, as well as a sword that he improvised. And basically, he says that him and the other guy, Braun, saw something, ran away, and they both split up. So you see that there's something up there, but you can't actually get up that way. So you come up this way, you see this torch, which brings you to this big vista of this very menacing building. You see a bunch of monsters and stuff like that. You can see this water flowing out here. And I added this because a lot of people mentioned that there should be some way to easily see this building without coming down this bridge, because the bridge kind of obscures the view, because if it didn't, then players would be able to jump off and go places that I didn't want them to go. So you stand here and you can see this. So on your way back, since there's nowhere else to go, you notice that there's a second branch off here, which you go around. And I'm in creative mode right now, but obviously this whole time these monsters will be attacking you. So you see this giant gate, and you come through. There's some collapsed building, or some collapsed roof and stuff here, and you find the story of Braun's death. So he died right there, and you come through, and finally you can work your way down the bridge here. So you'll have to fight these monsters. There's also some monster spawners under there that'll activate every once in a while to increase the number of guys there. So a lot of people decided that punching down all these paintings would be something they wanted to do, because it's one of the only things you can do in adventure mode. So I will do the same thing to show kind of what's behind each one. And there is a secret passage back here, which players can jump down into, and then walk kind of through these little maintenance tunnels here, and down into the water here, which brings you down into this room, which is also accessible through this staircase right here in the main area. Just a little storage room. There's some anvils down here, some logs or casks if you want to look at it that way. But if the player looks hard enough, they will come down into this watery area. And I have added some plants here, as well as a skull, and a story about a paladin that came to find the expedition and ended up dying due to a spider bite. So So you can get his sword, which is quite strong against enemies and pretty durable. So, this didn't fire properly. So the player can come back out this way. Normally this door would be open, and you can hear these explosions going on in the background. That is the Wither, so it kind of gives a good sense of foreboding to the player. So with nowhere else to go, the player comes up and around this way. There's some collapsed ceiling here, just some fine detail, a lot of cracked bricks, a lot of bricks missing. They will be fighting their way through here. If they go behind this painting, they find some diamond armor. Behind this painting is nothing. So the light kind of guides them to come down this way, which is where this manual door override is. So they flip this. As you can see in the chat log, 2 enemies just spawned, so the 2 mini bosses upstairs just spawned. This kind of area gives some depth to the dungeon where the players can't go, but it makes it seem larger than it really is. So the player's next move is to go upstairs, and upstairs there's a few rooms. First off, there's this door right across the hallway. There's a bunch of armor in here. If they check these chests, they'll find a sword, which, if they didn't find the Paladin's Might, would be better than the improvised sword that they found earlier. They can also take the armor off these armor stands. So the next thing for them to do is to come in here, and there's this Potion Master they will fight. And once they do that, as you can see, I'm doing crits because I have this Paladin Sword. After they kill this Potion Master, I'll kill him off real quick. Yeah, he seems to be healing himself, so I don't actually have to kill him, but there are potions in here that the players can grab, which will be beneficial later on. So if we go and move further on here, there's more collapsed stuff here, and there's some collapsed stuff above us. Because I liked having this depth and being able to see down to the next level, but the complaint was people wanted to jump down there, so this kind of blocks you, but still gives you the ability to kind of see down into the dungeon below where you are right now. There's also this rubble which has been here that you can see into this other room. And if you go through, and I get this guy out of my way, there's a few things in here. A chest, nothing in there right now. I haven't decided what I want to put in there. Maybe some enchanting bottles to allow the player to enchant some stuff. But besides that, just a little bonus area in there. Can break that painting, nothing behind it. Players will also notice they cannot go up this staircase. So they come around here, and the only thing down out here at this vista is an arrow, which at this point they can't use, but just in case they haven't killed any skeletons, and in case they haven't gotten any arrows, that is where they will be able to get it. So they come down here and around this corner into this room, where they should be fighting the next mini-boss, but oh yeah, there he is. I was afraid he didn't spawn. So they kill Skitter, and if I can kill him real quick, he will drop a bow that'll be very important later on. Skitter's Silk Bow, which has Infinity and Unbreaking 3 on it, so it'll last for a very long time, and it turns your one arrow into as many as you need. So over here, you find the final account of Nottingham before he turns into this Wither Demon. So players come across here, and I've added, just like everywhere else, a lot of detail, just some seating area, trying to make this seem a little bit more like a real structure that might exist. Nothing behind that painting, but down here in this little nook, if the players look hard enough, they will find this shield that they can equip, which will give them quite a bit of defense, along with the armor that they might have found earlier. So we go down around here, around this fire, and we're met with this door that we can't go through, so we go into these side rooms, and there are just these 2 levers we have to activate. And then we are met with the final boss, the Wither, who is supposed to be Nottingham after he is turned into this demon. And there's also this music disc here. I don't know what happened. I think the Wither might have blown up the painting that was there. I might have to do something to fix that. But after they do that, they come in here, open this door, or flip the switch, which opens this door. They come down through here and back out right over the statue. So that is the level for now. I really like how it's coming along. Obviously there's a few things I need to fix, but I am happy with how the iteration has come out so far, and I'm looking forward to the final product. Thanks.